What's going on? What's going on? We are back again. Ready to talk a little Cowboys, man. We are approaching. No, we are here at the midway point of the season, man. We are here at the midway point of the season. So, we got to give these boys their report card, man. You know, um, it's funny, man. I guess it's just something that I've seen. I like. As soon as I was ready to go, I thought about what was it like a couple of days ago. Let me go ahead and get these men, these boys a grade. Then I started seeing it right before I got on live. I was like, yeah, it's up in the air. It's about that time. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it by position, right? We're gonna do it by position. You know what? Let me see. Yes, indeed. But yeah, man. So this season has been an interesting one. Did many expect it? I have to say no. Did many expect this? But we here. You know, not only is we here to stay, right? The formula that we have created is something that can stay. You know, like I said, I know many people wanted us to air the ball out for what? For what? See, people get caught up in the new way of doing things, but sometimes the old way of doing things still works. And I don't care what nobody says. If you can successfully run the football, you can get to the playoffs and you can do damage in the playoffs, especially if you have a good supporting cast, especially if you got a solid defense and you got a good enough passing game. All this passing game got to do is just be good enough, just make plays when it's necessary. And this passing game is a lot better than just making plays when necessary. We have a lot more weapons than just mediocre weapons. Our weapons, we would have to say, compared to others, we have good weapons, right? You look at they say the Buffalo Bills is the best team in the AFC. That's what they say, right? So compare our weapons to them. I would have to say we have more, right? Okay, you got Stephon Diggs. We have CeeDee Lamb. You have Gabe Davis. We have Michael Gallup, right? You have McKenzie, Noah. We have, and then it goes, what else they go? We got James Washington, who's proven that he can, that when it comes down to the bottom of what we have, it's our bottom is better than a lot. Our bottom is better. Okay, they got Dawson Knox. We got Dawson Schultz. Okay, we got Ferguson. Okay. We got Hendershot who can get downfield, right? Okay. We got Zeke. They got running back problems. They trying to rely on Singletary. We got Tony Pollard, right? So that's where we separate, right? So when it comes down to the offense that we possess from the so-called best team in the AFC, come on, man. You want to talk about the Chiefs. Okay, let's look at the Chiefs. Who's their best weapon? Probably Tony now, right? CeeDee Lamb. And then you got Juju Smith, Mark Valdez-Scanlon, Alaire, Kelsey. Okay, no argument. That's it. You got Hardman. Come on, man. All them complimentary wide receivers on that team, man. Tony could play. When given the opportunity, Tony could play. But let's go ahead, man, and give our grade, man. So, first and foremost, man, we're going to go with the O-line. And the grade that I give the O-line is an A-, right? This is why I give the O-line an A-. Not only is they playing pretty well individually, except the inconsistency that we have at left guard, which we are able to hide, right? Steele is playing at a Pro Bowl level. Zach Martin always playing at a Pro Bowl level. Our center is playing good. Tyler Smith is playing good. Tyler Smith, you can even say that our center is playing at one of the best. Our left tackle is playing like one of the best, right? Yeah, left guard a little bit TBD, but 4 out of 5 linemen. And if you get Peters to start playing consistency, and just think when you get Tyron Smith back, come on, man, that's 5 bodies that are ballers. Like I said, I love taking credit from when people talk about Tyler Biadasz not being that one. I love taking credit from me. I take risks, man. When I believe in something, I don't, I don't waver unless otherwise, it's just because I'll be a fool for something to be proved to me that didn't work. But I knew for sure that all Tyler Smith needed was just a little bit of tune-up. Just a little bit of weight room here. Just a little bit more experience. And you're gonna have a good center. There's a reason why he even came. He was drafted the way where he was drafted at. Tyler Biadasz can play. Steele is playing good. Don't give up nothing. When you don't hear nobody, you don't hear Steele's name. You only hear Tyler Smith's name, not only because he's a rookie, because who he's filling in for. He's filling in for a Hall of Famer, right? Tyler Biadasz is filling in for a Hall of Famer, Frederick. Dallas has had the luxury of having pretty good center play, even going back to Andre Garrard, because Andre Garrard was solid. So we come from good center play. So yes, the O-line grade that I give is an A-. A- for the not only individually, but collectively. So yeah, man, we got straight ballers, man. People thought that, oh man, we needed an O-line, right? I was concerned about Tyler Smith at the beginning of the season. Y'all know why? Like, man, this man hasn't got any reps. Now we're gonna just throw him in, but they seen it. And to be honest with you, right? If let's go, because I believe in let's go. The same belief that I have in Tyler Biadasz, I have that in let's go as far as ability, right? So let's go as he recovered from surgery. Let's go as he build up in the weight room. A strong let's go is your left tackle. And then you have the luxury of putting Tyler Smith at guard. And regardless, if you wanted to save money, you can go ahead and put Tyler Smith at left tackle and go get you, whether a draft or whatever the case may be at guard, or a cheaper free agent that's solid, whatever the case may be, you have flexibility at line. But one thing's for sure, you're gonna have to pay. Say for instance, if Tyler Smith is at guard, I would see this is why I would think that they will put him at guard, because they know that if he had left tackle, you're gonna have to cash out. Because you're already gonna have to cash out for Diggs. You're gonna have to cash out, definitely gonna have to cash out for Micah. You're gonna have to cash out for Tyler Smith. You need to bring Biadasz back. You got to get ready to draft Zach Martin's replacement. So you're gonna have to draft the guard anyway, but we'll get into that at another time. And you definitely should pay Steele. You definitely need to pay Terrence Steele. You need to keep that O-line intact, right? Even though we botched the Dak contract, he still is at a bargain, especially with the cap rising up all the time, right? But so yes, and the way and the way that they protect, the way that we able to pound the football, y'all, every game, with the exception of probably the Washington Redskins, we consistently run the football. We was running the football with Cooper Rush. They know good and well that we're going to have to run the football, but yet they still couldn't stop it. So that tells me that your O-line is better than what people give this O-line credit for. This O-line is one of the best. We was thinking maybe if we just get solid play, we good. This O line has given us more than solid play, damn near elite. Just you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just think of the development that we have that we have came. Look at do you remember Terrence Steele first got in? We was like, man, this man's a liability. And all of a sudden, man, he got stronger. And then this. Tyler Biotis, they was ready to give up on him. But all of a sudden, he got stronger. Now look at him. Right? We don't give, yeah, we be hard on Stephen Jones and Jerry, though, but man, we got to give him credit when credit is due. And with this offensive line, they knew what they had. The fans didn't, but they knew. And now look, your offensive line is one of the best. It's a luxury to be able to say that you can go 60-40 run pass. You go 60-40 run pass. That's a luxury to say that. And your offensive line gives you that. Even when Dak come back, Dak is going to give you a boost in the running game just off of his presence. The way that we was out here biting on Justin Fields, he going to give you that same presence. Could you possibly – we're going to get into the defense later, but right now we're on the offensive line. The pass blocking has been good. Pass blocking has been good. When it was time for Cooper Rush to make certain throws, Cooper Rush had time in the pocket. Your offensive line collectively, not only individually, is playing at a, you could say at an elite level, and that's why I give them an A-. And I'm a hard grader. The only reason why I ain't giving them an A+, because of that Washington game. Because of that Washington game, But next position. Quarterback. C. I give that position a C. We have only had Dak for like 2.5 games. Cooper Rush, we had him. Yes, Cooper Rush did good things for him, but Cooper Rush, especially at the end, he started off hot though, but Cooper Rush, he did just enough. Let's be honest, y'all. Cooper Rush, he did an excellent job filling it. He did what he was supposed to. But let's be real. There's a difference. There's a reason why he's the backup quarterback. And we've seen that the last couple games. Right? When you had to can throw 100 and some yards and win the game, that means that your offensive line is something different. Right? I give it a C. Right? I give it a hard C. You're like, why? I see just because it wasn't elite. It wasn't. If Dak was here the whole year, I'll probably be giving it a you know what I'm saying, maybe like a B+, A-, but he wasn't. So yes, I'm giving it a hard grade of a C. Let's go to the Tampa game, right? Let's go to the Tampa game. Let's go to the Lions game. Yeah, Dak had a good Bears game, but if you really want to talk, Dak really has only had one good game. But we know why though. Tampa whooped on us. The Lions, he was coming back. The Bears, he knocked the rust off. It goes as simple as that, right? But like I said, Cooper Rush had a good Bengals game. And he made the throws. The Philly game wasn't good. So there's a lot of games where you can look back at the quarterback position. And then there was games, like I said, that we didn't need him to do much. So it's not his fault, but I still give it a C. He did just enough. Just think if we didn't have a good offensive line and Cooper Rush played the way that he did, if Cooper Rush wasn't giving us Dak at least at minimum Dak level Prescott from last year, then yeah, man, who knows? This team probably only have maybe three wins, including the Bears, if we're being honest. So a lot of this has to do with the offensive line and the philosophy of pounding this ball. And we're not giving this offensive line enough credit. And that's why I gave this offensive line an A-. Right? But like I said, Cooper Rush did good things, though. Cooper Rush has took command though. I'm not downplaying that because Cooper Rush did have to make some plays, and he did, and that's why it's not a D. And that's why it's not a D. That's why it's a C. You know, I'll be generous. I'll say C plus, but he ain't getting no B minus though. The plays that he made was excellent, especially that Bengals game. Plays he made was excellent, but I'm giving him a C. I know y'all gonna be like, can I at least get him a B? You can, but I ain't. Wide receiver, I'm giving that also a C. And the reason why I'm only giving that a C is because CD, right? CD started off a little bit slow, but he picked it up. He did. He had to get in. It's an adjustment from you being, singled up. You're not having the number one wide receiver on you all the number one corner on you all the time. The expectations being higher, even though you were born ready to be able to handle them expectations. He had to adjust. He had some crucial drops early in the season, but people acting like he just dropped the ball every game, and that's not the case. I forgot how many drops he got. Was it 4 or 5 or something like that? And a couple of them was in one game. So a hands problem. People are delusional with that. CD made some plays, man. He done made some crucial third and fourth down conversions, man, to keep the chains moving for us to go ahead. He done made some crucial touchdown grabbing the games, man. CD has played solid. He has made some contested catches. CD is a presence, and CD helps his run game as well. CD is a presence, and I also give it a C because Noah Brown did pretty solid in filling in, but Noah Brown has fizzled out. Noah Brown has started hot, but then he fizzled out at the end though, because Noah Brown, if we expected Noah Brown to be able to play that way as he did the first couple of games for 17 games, then the expectations that you have for Noah Brown was too high. And I'm gonna tell you why. Let me read you the stats. On why this receiving core. See, I'm not just talking about CD and Noah. I'm talking about this receiving core in totality, right? So let's look. CD Lamb, 42 catches, 556 yards, 3 tugs, right? 3 tugs, So, CD's most definitely on pace for over 1,000 yards, He should get that. I'm pretty sure he will get that early. I'm pretty sure you can say about 12 or 13 yards from CD. That's definitely realistic to expect. And then your next receiver is Noah Brown. 25 catches for 339 yards and a TD. And then your next receiver is Dalton Schultz. 20 catches for 203 yards. With the games that Dalton Schultz has missed, and with him not being a heavy target, and for Michael Gallup to be your next best wide receiver, and your receivers miss and you had a shuffle at wide receiver, it's unacceptable. There's no way that Michael Gallup should be number 4. You know what I mean? Where's your you know what I mean? Even though we didn't have a committee though, your next best receiver was Simi Fehoko with 3 catches for 24 yards. That was your next, and then it's Houston. Tober has 1 catch. Now, before I got on here, I seen somebody give Tober a D. I disagree with that because we haven't seen enough from Tober to even give him a D, So, what I mean? I had to at least see a few games, you know what I'm saying, for him to give him a D, right? But has he been a disappointment though? Yeah. Because you know what I'm saying, the expectations that we have of these draft picks is to come in right away and play. Right? That's what we've been getting the last couple years. So that's expected. So that's what we expect. See, but you got to understand, sometimes you got to develop. You had to be patient with Quentin Bohannon. He had to develop. Now he was an intricate part of your D tackles, of your nose guards, So I'm gonna give Tober the chance to develop, even though I'm not high on him like some other people are. But I'm gonna give it, like I said before, man, when I did my film on him, I said he's Terrence Williams at best. But if you can get Terrence Williams out of him, that's pretty solid, though. But I say he's Terrence Williams at best. Houston was a failure. I'm not gonna say Fajoku was a failure because you know what I'm saying we ain't seen yet though, but that hasn't, Fajoku was a 2 to 3 year project. Let's be real, And, you know what I'm saying? That's a 2 to 3 year project. And to say that Tolbert should be coming in ready to produce and give us 30, 40 catches, that's probably was unrealistic for him as well. And especially when your offense is run heavy base now. The majority of what you running should be run heavy, So, you know, having 3,000-yard wide receivers is unrealistic in his offense, right? It's unrealistic. So I'm giving it a C. And that's because of CD and Noah. Only a C. Tolbert, no. Washington, hurt. Turpin, underutilized. Fajoku, no. So, yeah, man. That's a C for me. Let's go to running backs. Running backs, give me an A minus. If somebody gave him a B plus, I couldn't argue with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and be generous with my hard grading self and give them an A minus. You say why I give them an A minus? Well, the duo that we have, man, is elite. Tony Pollard, man. You remember Tashard Choice, Felix Jones and Barber. What was it? Smash, Dash, and Tash. Well, we got all three of that in two backs. You got two backs, man, that's excellent receivers out of the backfield. You got two backs that's different run styles, but good at what they do. You got one back who's sorry at pass protection, but you got another back that's very elite at pass protection, right? So with that being the case, right, if you dispute my A minus, right, when do you see Zeke go backwards? Zeke always go forwards when he runs. Right? Tony Pollard has gave you home run hitting. Right? Zeke gives you the dirty yards. We say that we want Tony Pollard to be full-time. But I've been saying this from the jump. He's not a full-time running back. And your running back coach told y'all that just recently from what I read. He told you that. He told you that Tony Pollard was gassed. You good what he said, a good 30 plays and he's done? Right? But one thing's for sure, whether he do it now or he has done it, even though some people talk about Zeke conditioning, we know that if Zeke need to go ahead and get that ball 30 times, he's equipped for that. He can do it. He's done it before and he can do it again. And he's going to get it in the playoffs. Zeke is a cold weather running back. Y'all don't think that y'all don't think y'all about to see less of Tony Pollard as it start getting colder? Y'all better go trade Tony Pollard when it start getting colder before that trade deadline because you're going to get more Zeke. You're going to get more Zeke. When it comes down to playoff time, Zeke is going to be getting 25 carries, 20 to 25 carries. Tony Pollard, he's going to get carries to spell Zeke. But oh no, it's Zeke time. So go ahead and rest that knee, Zeke. If you got to take this week off, then take this week off because it's going to be Zeke time. See, y'all count Zeke out, but I bet you, when it's time, when it's playoff time, I bet you you're going to see that old Zeke. Flashback. Y'all come back to this line. Whether it happened or not, you're going to see flashback Zeke in the playoffs. You're going to see it. This running back room is an A minus. This running back room is, and the O-line is the reason why we are sitting here. 6-2. Them two in the defense, right? So yes, I'm giving it an A minus. Even Malik Davis came in there, did some good things. So yes, I'm giving it an A minus. Let's go look at the statistics. Let's look at the statistics, y'all. Lord. Oh, okay, yeah, Dak got that. Tony Pollard, 81 carries for 506 yards. 5 tugs, 6.2 average. Ezekiel Elliott, 109 carries for 443 yards. 4 yards a carry. 4 tugs. Zeke is getting 4 yards a carry, y'all. 4 yards, not 3.5, not 3.3. He's getting 4 yards a carry. Yes, he has more sample size. Tony run. Take some of Tony Pollard's explosive runs. Average is a lot lower, but who cares? This is what Tony Pollard does. You're not going to pay Tony Pollard as a number one running back. And if he want that number one running back money, he would not be here next year. That's just the facts. So if Tony Pollard can take number two running back money, gadget player money, then he'll be here. If not, sayonara, we got to draft another running back. Simple as that. But Zeke, we got to draft another running back anyway, though, because Tony Pollard up and Zeke. You know what I'm saying? Zeke is getting older. So, yes, A-. Let's go to tight end, y'all. I'm giving that a B-. You can say C+, but I give it a B-. And I take into account blocking and receiving, right? When Schultz, we know Schultz is Dak, you can say damn near Dak number 2 weapon. If not number 1 sometime, if you really look at it like that. Dak is most comfortable with Schultz. Because you know where Schultz is going to be. Schultz is going to be there. That's his boy. One thing Dak is going to throw it to is them tight ends. And he's going to throw it to tight ends, his number 1 wide receiver. And if he got a receiver that's going to win quick inside, that's who he's throwing it to. Yes, we know Zach loves Gallup, right? So who do you see as your number 1 wide receiver as far as what Dak loves? Is it Gallup or CD? We're going to find out, you feel me, as we go on. But he got that number 88. He has no choice but to make CD his number 1 wide receiver. Because one thing's for sure, Jerry Kellen Moore is not going to allow number 13 to outshine number 88 in targets. That's not about to happen. Even if he was better, which he's not. So you're going to see a lot of CD and Dalton Schultz. So if you got Dalton Schultz, you might want to go trade for him if you don't got no tight end. I had the luxury of somebody cutting Dalton Schultz because of his injuries, and I picked that man up. Man, I had the Bears tight end for his hot second for like 2-3 games. I had to cut that man. And I had to stream tight ends until I found that blessing. I don't know what that man was thinking, but man, look at God. But yeah, man, Dalton's been banged up. So when Dalton wasn't playing, you had Ferguson and you had Hendershot, which filled in nicely. Hendershot has made plays downfield. Ferguson has shown that when it's time for him to his number call, he's gonna step up. Ferguson he's gonna be a touchdown maker. Ferguson, man, y'all remember that? I believe it was the first tug he ever had, man. When he made that play on the goal line, man, tossed him off him and ran in. Your tight end, and then your tight end scored again. It was a Hendershot. So your tight ends have not only been a pretty good safety blanket. Ferguson has blocked well, and you got this. And then when Doc was here, Dalton Schultz has done a wonderful job. So your tight ends get a B-. They get a B- from me. They don't get an A. That's partly because of the quarterback. Not gonna lie, partly because of the quarterback. partly because of Dalton Schultz blocking soft. Like I said, I take into consideration blocking, and Dalton Schultz is hurting their grade in totality. So if Dalton Schultz was to get them an A, then Dalton Schultz would have had to be getting like damn near 10 catches a game, but he not. So he messing up that grade by him being soft. But all three of your tight ends keep the chains moving, and that's why they get a B minus. That's why they get a B. Right? Tight end play, I have no complaints over tight end play. Tight end play has done a solid job. No complaints, y'all. Because it is what it is. We knew that Dalton Schultz was a weak blocker, but a solid wide receiver that won't be here next year. And we knew that Ferguson is going to be your number one tight end in the future, and probably Hendershot might be your number two. And McKeon is going to be maybe in the fold as a 2 or 3. But we know for sure what we're going to get from your tight end. And Ferguson, your number one, is a blocker and a solid wide receiver. I'm good with that. Because the tight end position play is not elite in the NFL. It's only a handful, right? And you can convert tight ends. You can go get you a big-ass wide receiver and convert him into a tight end. But that's all a tight end is anyway, a big-ass wide receiver. But anywho, let's get to this defense, y'all. Let's get to this defense. Linebackers. Oh, y'all going to love this grade that I'm going to give them. Y'all going to love this grade that I'm about to give your linebackers. I'm giving your linebackers a D. Yep. I'm giving all your linebackers a D. Leighton. And I'm going to tell you why it's a D. It's a D because they made the play that they were supposed to make. This is why I give it a D. Look, Anthony Barr was a solid fill-in signing, but Anthony Barr as a linebacker has been very poor, right? When you use Anthony Barr sort of like a Micah Parsons, that's when you'll be able to get the most out of him, when you'll be able to do different things with him. But just having Anthony Barr as just a middle linebacker, as just a linebacker in general, not a middle, but just a Sam, you're not gonna get the most out of him, and you damn near gonna get little out of anything with him. With Barr, so you need to be using Barr like Minnesota did. They had that man in coverage. They used him as a linebacker, and they rushed him. I always say when he came out, Anthony Barr should have been a permanent DN, probably a 3-4 linebacker, right? And I believe we had interest in Barr. Yes, we did. UCLA, right? So Dan Quinn, yes, he was forced to do it because we have young linebackers, right? And we don't want to use Micah as just a linebacker because then we'll be doing a disservice not only to Micah but this team. So Micah is everywhere, right? But when I say, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw Micah in two categories: the D line and the linebacker, y'all. So I'm gonna say him more than once, right? But linebacker is D, right? Barr, like I said, poor as a traditional linebacker. It's been poor. Him going forward, that's what we want to see more. If Dan Quinn can make that adjustment of having this man go forward more, and let's just roll with Leighton, a little bit more of Micah, just a tad bit more dose of Micah at traditional linebacker, and working Damon. I'm cool with that. I honestly thought that I was going to see a lot more of Anthony Barr coming forward and being like a more of a rusher anyway, a blitzer anyway. So that's when you'll be able to see Anthony Barr cook. Leighton. The reason why he a part of the D, Leighton, like I said, Leighton hasn't just been poor. Like I said, I made a video on Leighton, and I showed y'all the reason why they kept him. Leighton is solid. He can glide. He's more of a wheel linebacker. He's a big-ass wheel linebacker. How the hell you 6'4", 200, damn near 260 pounds, and you ain't no Mike linebacker? You ain't Rolando McClain. How we go? How we gonna get Rolando McClain? And we supposed to be getting Rolando McClain. but we got Bobby Carpenter. We supposed to get Edmonds for the Bills, but we got Leighton Vander Esch. Hey, man, look. Like I said, Leighton ain't no middle linebacker, y'all. We doing him a disservice by even having him at Mike. But Leighton Manovich, when he can just be running, hitting, that's what he does, and that's why he's a will linebacker. Because when he was at his best, where did he play? At will next to Jalen when Jalen was at Mike. And we also did Jalen a disservice by playing him just a traditional linebacker. He didn't do that in Notre Dame. So why the hell did you do that and try to convert him into that now? You should have been using Jalen Smith like Micah Parsons, if we being real. So Jalen Smith was misused in his in his tenure in Dallas. Oh, LSU up 7-3 on Bama. I'll finish that game. But Leighton is a running hit. And when he's free and able to run and hit, it looks good. When he got to take on blockers, it looks good. When he's free and just be able to go get it, it looks good. Bobby, man. Oh, man. Not Bobby Smarter. Bobby Carpenter. But yeah, man, I give it that man Bobby Carpenter. He man gave me Bobby Carpenter vibes. But yeah, man, Leighton, oh my gosh. As I've seen in the film, man, it was just, I don't know what the Leighton be thinking half the time. When it comes to the feeling, he's charming, soft, but running hit linebacker he is. But he just it still was a decent signing for the Cowboys, y'all. Right? But we're not gonna act like him and Barr ain't been a huge, oh Lord. They out here trying to spam me. Oh my God. But we ain't gonna act like them two ain't been the reason why, or not the whole reason, but a good part of why the run defense is being the way it is. Hey, Lo, can you get that spam about the chat? They out here trying to get some 6ix9ine going on here, man. We out here talking Cowboys, man. We ain't getting freaky. You know what I'm saying? We out here. It's a family show, and they out here talking about some 6ix9ine. Yeah, man. What's wrong with them? Micah Parsons. He's been relying on his athletic ability to make plays. But with Micah Parsons, y'all, man, he done made some mistakes too. He done false step and, overcommitting and things though. But it's like, it's easy to grade Micah just off of principles of a linebacker. But then you like, all right, but he's just so great. So he going to make up for it. So you could be hard on him. Like I would be hard on him as Dan Quinn to hold him accountable so he won't build bad habits. But it's like Micah's so great. It's just like, all right, you took a false step, but he get ready to run it down and make the play anyway. And it's like his mistake is just like inhuman. So it's like, dang, you know what I mean? So, but Micah definitely, as I shown y'all in that last film, definitely had some mistakes in the run defense, right? Damon Clark, as I released yesterday, Damon Clark was looked like a rookie, but did some good things, and definitely showed you, right? He definitely showed me that he's a willing tackler. Micah and Damon Clark is the only willing tacklers really that you got at linebacker because, when it comes down to taking on blocks, Leighton and Barr, ain't it. But Damon Clark, we got something in there, man. Just give Damon Clark, man, a couple more games, man, and he gonna be flowing right up in there, y'all. But on to the D line. Y'all might be surprised by this one, but I give the D line a B. I don't give him an A. The reason why I give him a B is because of run defense. Right? Excellent at pass. If it was just strictly off of just sacks, I'll give you an A. But I'm giving you a B because of your porous run defense. You know, as a D lineman, you're taught to go run to pass. And we go pass to run. You know, and that's the why we out here looking as bad as we do. So, you know, you seen Carlos Watkins getting turned. You see DeMarcus Lawrence not having outside contain. Dorrance Armstrong not having outside contain. Neville Gallimore out here ringing around a rosy, spinning, you know? So Hankins is going to help this, though. But like I said, Micah Parsons, excellent rusher, you know. But Micah Parsons, as shown in the film, even went inside and then gave up the outside, you know, because he out here relying on his athletic ability to make plays, and you can't do that. You need to rely on your technique and then your athletic ability, you know, with technique. That's what's gonna help this run defense for them not allowing these big old chunks. From not allowing these big old chunks. So I'll give it a B. But let's look at these stats. But also to piggyback on that linebacker, right? Late ain't even a leading tackler, bro. Your leading tackler is Donovan Wilson with 59 total. And then it's Leighton. And then it's Hooker. Where's your linebacker at? Micah, but we didn't hold Micah to that standard because he don't play linebacker. And then it's your Dean Lawrence. When you look at Barr, he's below Curse. And Curse missed a game or two. Sad. Just sad. Right? Just sad. What's going on, Unbox? Been a minute. Yes, sir. Oh, I don't know if you was sir or ma'am. My bad. But yes, sir or ma'am. But yeah, man. Yeah. That must be they made for boys. Okay. Man, I'm telling you, man. Hey, they must have added something into them incentives too. They must have added something into them incentives too, man. Cause oh my gosh. I'm like, bro, where is the discipline? Like, y'all scared to stop the run? I'm over here looking at Fowler, man. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. But when it comes down to the sacks, though, Micah got 8. Lawrence got 4. Lawrence got 3 of them in one game. Lawrence better go do something. Lawrence had 3 of them things in one game. Kirsch got 1. Lewis got 1. Leighton got 1. Osa got 2. Armstrong got 5. Fowler got 4. Gallimore got 1. Let me see what else we got. Sam Williams got 2. You know? So we getting to the quarterback, y'all. But but man, stopping and run. There's no way that your top 2 linebackers that get the most stats should not be leading you in tackle. Why is your safety leading you? That's what I said, man. If they messed around, man, and made Donovan Wilson a Mark Barron, I think he'll probably be a pretty good linebacker, man, because he got the heart for it, the aggressiveness for it. He just ain't got the size to take on them blockers consistently. You know? Which leads me to my next position. Safeties, A minus. Yeah, we've been getting excellent safety play. Hooker don't give up no big plays. We don't get hit with big plays, y'all. We do not get hit with big plays. The majority of the big plays you get hit with is in a running game. We don't get hit with big plays. Hooker, see, when you ain't hearing Hooker name, that's good. And we usually hear Hooker name when he out there either coming in for a tackle, deflection, or showing his range. But Hooker, see, Hooker ain't been talked about enough. Hooker ain't been talked about enough. And it's about time we start talking a little bit more about Hooker. Hooker has done an excellent job, right? Wilson has done an excellent job. Your leading tackler, right? Yo, do it everything, dude. Your most aggressive tackler, to be honest with you. Wilson is your most aggressive tackler. You use that man as a spy. He gonna come up to hit in the box. He a missile. He'll even go make some plays. He even make plays on the ball. Good safety. Good safety. You got a lot of boys on that defense, man, who need to get paid. You can't pay them all, though. You can't pay them all. But yeah, man, Wilson is ball. Kirsch has been solid. He ain't been like last year, though, but he's been solid, though. Right? And even your safeties, Israel Mukwamo. Damn, the other one, man, was a 41, man. The other safety, right? Even he's done Marquise Bell. Even he's done some good things, right? So when it's time, if your safeties miss, so it's time for somebody to step up, and when it's time for your safeties to do the job, consistently on that defense, your safeties do their job. That's your most consistent as far as playing a run in the pass. Give it to your safeties. Give it to your safeties. Like I said, I'm a hard grader, y'all. I'm a hard grader. Cornerback, B+. Pretty solid job in pass coverage. Pretty good job, actually. When Diggs come down, when it's time for him to step up and lock him up, he clamps him. Right? But Anthony Brown has even did good. Now, Anthony Brown was almost some food last game. The 2 plays, he could have been food. We got lucky. And whether it be Green Bay, Minnesota, they're going to go after him. They're going to go after Anthony Brown, y'all. So we're going to be prepared for that. They get ready to go after Anthony Brown. They seen that Chicago thing. But one thing for sure, Trayvon Diggs picks his spots when he want to tackle, and so does Anthony Brown. They got to be better than that. Bland is probably your best tackling corner. Yes, he is your best tackling corner, actually. Kelvin Joseph, he gave up that tug, though, but, he going to have to fix that, bro. If he can fix that, if he can fix the consistency with his technique and just ball the way I know that he can ball, that's gonna be your number 2 corner route right there. That's your number 2 corner right there. But Bland is turning into something special, though. Bland is definitely turning into something special. So, man, we done hit on drag picks early and late, right? Jordan Lewis, he gave us some solid play. No lie. He gave us some solid play. I have to say, we might miss Jordan Lewis a little bit just because we're going to have to play more of Bland and Joseph, and we don't have the confidence in Joseph and Bland as a rookie, but I'm pretty sure Bland, with the experience that he got in preseason and the experience that he's getting now, and that pick that he got early on, I think Bland is going to do just fine. We probably have to play Ant a little bit more in the slot and have Bland on the outside so he can have that sideline for help. But other than that, man, if we can get Joseph, man, Kelvin Joseph, man, and start balling the way that we know that he can ball, we're going to be good. Didn't he clamp up dude on Philly? Devontae Smith and when Kentucky versus Alabama, didn't he clamp him up? Didn't he give him Clamp City? I could have swore he did. But your corners is here to stop the pass. and they're doing that. So that's why I gave them the B plus because because I understand that the corners is not here to let the run get outside, and the front seven is supposed to be doing it. And I understand that. That's why I wasn't too hard on their tackling, but they got to tackle better, especially in the Dan Quinn defense. Richard Sherman was held to that standard of tackling, as far as the willingness that you're gonna have to stick your nose in there. Diggs is gonna have to do the same thing. You call yourself elite, you better be able to tackle, especially in this day and age. You ain't got to be no hard hitter. Just be able to do what you got to do. Just get the job done. Do your job and just stick your nose in there, whether you miss or not. I don't expect you to just be no Donovan Wilson. I don't expect for you not to miss no tackles, but to just to be kind of soft and not being physical. And when it's time for you to squeeze it in and go make the play, I can't accept that. I can't accept that. I can't accept that. I cannot accept that. Let's go special teams. Kicker, punter. I believe Meyer is 15 to 17, and then the two that he missed was long field goals that was kind of put in like, let's go for it type thing. He really been flawless though. You take them little forced field goals, man, them long ones. You take that away from the equation, he's been flawless. We was concerned. I know I was, but he done a solid job though. He done a good job. Anger done a good job. His average is 48.5. That's a good job. He didn't had a couple bad ones though, but I don't expect perfection. But even though you should expect perfection because all you do is punt. And that's what you paid to do. And that's what they paid you to do. So you need a punt. Right? So, all in all, in totality, man, this team, man, the weakest position on your team is definitely linebacker. It's definitely linebacker. We all know that. We look, y'all. If I'm being honest with y'all, right? We hoping that Damon Clark is going to be the savior at this linebacking core as far as giving a solid play, because teams like the Colts, teams like the Titans, teams like the Vikings, maybe even the Packers, Philly, and even with Robinson with the Redskins, they're going to take advantage, man, of your porous linebacker play, your porous run defense. If y'all don't start, DNs don't start setting the edge. If corners don't start being more willing to hit, and your linebackers could keep being like sissies, man, when it's time to take on blocks and fill that hole. They're going to keep running at us, y'all. And pretty soon you ain't going to be able to get them sacks because they running the ball. They converting it. They having 10-play drives for threes or for sevens. They having 10-play drives, 12-play drives because we can't get off the field. Hankins will help this team tremendously, right? Yes, he will. He will help this team tremendously, right? But we got to be real, y'all. Hankins ain't enough. Hankins, right? This is why, I'm going to tell you what Jerry did. Because I'm going to go ahead and drop that Hankins film tomorrow, y'all. Since we ain't got no Cowboys football, I took my time with that Hankins film, y'all. So I'm going to drop that Hankins film tomorrow. And I'm going to show you why we didn't trade for a linebacker. Because the way that Hankins was holding them deep, the offensive lineman, so your linebackers are running hit, they envisioned that they was going to do that for Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch. That's why Hayden is probably one of your most important pieces on his defense, y'all. Yeah, we talking about Micah. We know Micah the most valuable, right? We know that. But Hankins, other than your cover guy, and Diggs, other than Michael Parsons, I believe, man, Hankins might be your most important piece on this team because of the way that he holds them them O linemen up, so they can run and hit. So, man, and we're gonna see, man. And if Leighton can run and hit and be free, they will get a whole lot better play in that run game. If Leighton can be free, if Barr can be free, Michael Parsons can be free, Damon Clark can be free. So I expect better wide receiver play. Gallup, some more practice under his belt, some rest under his belt. Dak here, Dak getting ready. Dak rested up. Zeke rested up. I expect, the offensive line to rest up. Man, we're going for the stretch, y'all. It's time. It's time. It's time to make this move, man. Do what we got to do so we get up in here. Correct some things on his defense. Keep with the same philosophy on his offense. Man, we're going to do some things, y'all. We're going to do some things. I expect us to do some things. And anything less than us doing some things is a problem. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to stop by, give y'all a little live, man. Give us a little drive grade, man. Get ready to come back up in here, man. Watch some of this football. Give me something to eat, man. Probably watch some of this boxing, y'all. And look out for that Jonathan Hankins film tomorrow. I'll be dropping that tomorrow, man. And y'all stay safe on this Saturday, man. Enjoy this football, man. Go Cowboys, y'all. We up out of here.